We are taking a look at the 2026 PSAC Men's Indoor Track and Field Championships that are taking place on Saturday and Sunday at Lehigh University in the northeastern section of the state. Coach O, Bill, we're here to take a look at the Raiders and how they're going to progress this weekend. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, my pleasure, Bill. I always enjoy spending time with you.
I appreciate that. It's a men's team that is looking to continue upholding what it has been able to uphold for a significant streak. And to do that, though, it always takes not only the balance of the team, but also, again, the ability to make sure that no matter what has happened in the lead up to this point, you have to be able to produce at the meet. And so far, that's been able the case. And that's the message, again, you're imparting here leading up to the meet, I imagine, is, again, do what you can do in order, because you're physically ready. Now you got to be mentally ready.
That's right. Yeah. I'm an analytics person, and obviously we look at the performance list and we see where we stack up, and that kind of gives you a good feel how the meet will go. But I always explain to the men or the women's team, if the score is 0-0 at the beginning of the meet, it doesn't matter if you're really good in this event or that event. You have to show up. And that's really what I've been emphasizing to the men is don't get caught sleeping. You've got to come into the meet. There's really good teams out there that are not that far off of pace of us. We need to have focus and be positive and have good attitudes and get after it and do your job.
As we take a look and start looking at some of those specific event groups and some of the events in those event groups, I think a perfect example of what you just said is the 60-meter dash in the sprints. So the USTF CCCA event rankings, where they take basically the top 4 performers from each team, and then they take your average times to produce that. SHIP is 6th in the country in the 60. Kutztown is 13th. Westchester is 24th. So if you look at the top 15 seeds in the PSAC, 12 of them are from those 3 schools because all of those top 4s have broken 7 seconds. We've had 18 men in the league exceed 7 seconds. And when you have an event like the 60, where there's not a lot of room for error, despite the fact that Shippensburg has 4 men in the top 14, that's exactly what we're talking about, because there are KU runners that are ready to do it.
100%.
There are Westchester runners.
Yep.
Kassid Raymond of Mansfield.
Fantastic.
Others.
The conference champion from Mansfield.
200.
200. Yep.
So this is that perfect example where we're excited. You're excited to see them perform, but you still got to do it.
Got to come to the line and get it done. Yeah, 100%. A lot of talent.
Yep.
It's not like we're the only ones who have sprinters. So it's going to be great. You got to have to show up and get. The biggest thing is day one is what? Advance.
Correct.
You got to get to the final, right? So there's only 8 lanes on the track in the final. So you got to do your job and run fast through the line. You can't cruise. You just got to get there. Run through the line, be aggressive, and get to the final. And that's what we've been trying to emphasize with these guys.
And that being said, briefly too, the accomplishments of Gabe, Namali, Keon, LeVar, what they've done this year has been pretty exceptional. Especially those top
and saying all those names along with the other guys that you're going to talk about, it's a great training group. So they've been pushing each other each day and every day to be great. So it's exciting. It's been a very exciting group, and it's been a great indoor season for them. But now it's time to put it to the pavement and say, okay, we talk this, we do this. Now we need to actually produce and get it done at the conference meet. So, and I think they're ready.
And the 200 is another example of that, where their SHIP is 8th in the nation in the USTF CCCA rankings, and SHIP actually has 7 of the top 8 seeded declared entries on that list in the 200. Some of those times came very early in the season. Some of those times have come later in the season. Keon Green leads the way. You've got Namal Greenwood, Quentin Townsend, Gabriel Lewis, Jack Kearney, LeVar Jackson. All of those names are in the mix. And again, equally motivated as well are the others who are like, well, I can get in there too.
Sure.
But what a heck of a season they've had to get to this point.
Yeah, and the other thing too that we've done tactically, I think is really helpful for our team is we're not afraid of 200-meter flat tracks. The conference championship is on a 200-meter flat track. A lot of sprinters in our conference never see a 200-meter flat track. And I rightfully so, I understand that. Where they're located, they can get to 300-meter flats, and they can get 200 banks, which we ran on too. We ran on a lot of 200 banks this year too.
Sure.
But we made sure that we got to 200 flats so our guys in those sprint events could get a feel for what it is on the tight turns it's going to be. So we're not overwhelmed when we get there and be like, oh my gosh, how do I work this turn? I'm used to being up on a bank or have this big wide turn at a 300 track. We're used to it. We're ready for it. They're mentally ready for it. They're not going to go in there and be like, oh, I can't run in this. They know what to do and how to run those turns.
We'll move right back to the 400. One of the names that we haven't mentioned yet is among the transfers who've joined the team this season is Isaiah Brightman, who'll be running in the 60-meter hurdles. That's one of the events where if you're Shippensburg, you don't quite have the total numbers, that we have in the other events, but at the same time, Isaiah is looking to make an impact in that event.
Yeah, 100%. Isaiah is 100. He's been a great transfer for me. He's developed really well. Very coachable. Very coachable. Definitely looking for a top 3 finish with him, which I think we can do. And also Ethan Conrad will be there as well as a senior. He made the field as well. So Ethan's been lifetime personal best this year as well. So those will be our two guys in the hurdles. But really excited about Isaiah, especially. I think he could do some great things and maybe surprise some people with his placing.
We mentioned earlier in the 200 group, some among the doubles, or in Jack Kearney's case, possibly triples. But you've got Quentin Townsend and Jack Kearney there in the 400. And it looks like, too, that Mo Hamad is going to be able to hopefully make in that top 18 as well.
Yeah.
That's been a group that especially Quentin Townsend has come on really well the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Quentin's special. He's got a motor. Really excited about what he can do in the 4. And let's not forget, he's the reigning 200 conference champ in the 2. And the 4x4, he has just been a driving force for us this year. I'm so proud of him. He's really going to do some great things. Jack is the healthiest he's been. His knees are feeling great. He's moving well. Had a seasonal PR last week in the long jump, getting in his preparations, and then rolled out a really nice 2. So he's going to have a busy day that first day. But Jack said he's up for it. So we rolled Jack out in every event that we could. So he's excited to get it. He's going to be our workhorse this weekend.
Yeah, it's the time to do it.
Yep. He's ready. He's healthy. He said, let's do it. So
transitioning a little bit to the mid-distance and the distance events, we'll begin with the 800. And 800 in the mile of notorious successes for Shippensburg. But in the 800, it's neat in the sense that Ship's got 4 of the top 14, but also 3 of the top 6. But Chase Hensinger's really led the way. What a terrific progression of meets that he's had. Health, progression, and getting it done to get to this point. He's going to be challenged, certainly.
Sure.
But he's had a great season, and he's looking to defend his title.
You said it there. He's just a seasoned veteran, right? This guy knows how to get it done. He knows how to race indoors. He's healthy. He's been training really well. We didn't double him, so he's just running the 8. So we're excited for him. Really excited for his allies behind him. Ben Hummel, freshman, has been running outstanding. Owen Schrader, who was 3rd outdoors in the conference meet, the 800s in that top 6.
He didn't run indoors
last year, so we have some great depth there. And then Jackson ran a nice race last week to make the field. So it feels good to have that many guys in the 800, and hopefully we can pile up some points there.
And then similarly in the mile, where you've got a couple of really Ben Hummel's really the only one who's doing the 800 and mile double. You've got a fresh group. We will mention them all, but I have to singularly for a minute. One of the most special performances in a while by Tommy Crum.
Who's Tommy Crum?
Yeah, who is that guy, right?
Yeah.
There's been 5 conference records set this season in various events in the PSACs, and Tommy's performance in the mile has to rank up there among some of the more brilliant performances in mid-distance history for sure.
Yeah, Tommy is really, really excited and is running really well right now. The all-time PSAC record holder in the mile.
Yep.
So excited to see him run the mile and the 3K. He's definitely one of our pillars on the men's team that we rely on. He's always positive, always energetic, wants to win for the team. So he'll be leading the charge in the mile. And then we've got Danielle, a freshman, and Ben Hummel coming back. So you can tell we have a young group of freshmen who are talented that are going to help us. Brennan's in there too. I'd love to see Brennan get top 8 in the mile.
And he's been in the mix a couple years
and
now.
Then Kyle and Davey made the field as well. So it's good to get them some experience at the conference championship. So excited. It's a great group of guys that, we had such a fantastic cross-country season, right? So It's so nice to, a couple of our guys are dinged up, and hopefully we'll get them back outdoors.
It's hard to maintain that
It is really hard to maintain health, but these guys are really good at that. So excited. And then the 3K, 5K, 3K, and the 5K, we've got Garrett. I don't know if anybody knows who that guy is. He's pretty talented too. Garrett's one of the most successful distance runners in school history. So Garrett will lead the charge for us in the 5K, and then in the 3K, he'll have his allies, his wingman, Ryan Wolf.
Yep.
Ryan took a little while to get healthy and get rolling, but has looked really good lately. So we we sat him back and we're just going to use him for the 3K and kind of build into the outdoor season for him. Conrad will join him. Jason Conrad, one of our freshmen, will join him as well. Tom. So that Tommy, Garrett, Ryan,
Jason and Brennan
trifecta, and then Jason and Brennan. It's a nice little security blanket at the end of the meet. And, if things get tight or close, it's nice to see those 5 guys get on the line for us. So that's kind of, we have that kind of in place just in case kind of thing, depending on scenarios. On paper, it looks on the meet, if you start to do it on paper, I think we have a little bit of a cushion, on paper. Again, It doesn't really mean anything, but East Stroudsburg, Slippery Rock are right there.
Yeah.
I think they're not far off. And a resurgent Lock Haven. Lock Haven has had a fantastic indoor season. They're in the mix.
Yep.
So any of those teams are ready, willing, and able to take us down. So we have to make sure that we have everything firing on all cylinders across all our events.
Yeah, Lock Haven, Josiah Sean's 799 in the hurdles. You've got
a really deep distance squad.
Yeah,
their distance squad has really come together. Really good in the mid distance area. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Earlier too, I didn't mention one of those records, J.C. Willis of Seton Hill in the 400.
Phenomenal.
He's going to be the person that Quentin and others will be, vying to compete against. He's again phenomenal.
Yeah, PSAC record. Yeah. He hit 47.09, just phenomenal.
So then, as we start to really take a deeper dive at the field events, this is an area too where some of our counterparts around the league really have some significant depth in that sense.
100%. Yeah.
And in the high jump, we'll begin where we have one representative there who I want to have you talk a little bit about Jackson Satonsky, because it's unique from that when I have the writing, for all the people out there, I see the results at night. I'm not there, but I take it all in, and it's neat to see, especially in the early years, where these people show up. The utility knife, in the sense, high jumper, he's done all the jumps. You don't often see sometimes anymore the high jumps coming into the other events. It happens, but as a freshman to come in and do what he's been able to do, that's pretty neat. Yeah,
definitely. The field events are the stronghold of Slippery Rock and East Stroudsburg. That's really where they're very, very strong, right? So, in the men's high jump, East Stroudsburg's just an absolute premier program. I think fourth in the country with their group.
Yep.
Karen the coach there is phenomenal, and she does a great job, and she's got a bevy of talent. That'll be an area where if they're going to do well at the meet, they have to stack that event.
Well, it's top 4 seeds.
Top 4 seeds going in, and I think they also have the 6th seed as well. So that's where Jackson comes in for us. He needs to be, just like you said, that Swiss Army knife. We've got to have him come in there and kind of break things up a little bit, score some points. So we can continue to score in every event type of thing. And that's what we're expecting, the same thing. Now, the long jump, we've had a really great long jump year. We have Ethan Conrad, who had a breakout year in the long jump, jumping 714. Jack, who was the defending conference champion in the long jump. Like I said, started to roll around this past meet at 707. Jackson also has broken the 7-meter mark. So we have 3 guys who have jumped over 7 meters.
In the top 6 there.
Right. So that's an event that hopefully we can counter a little bit with the field. As far as that goes, so I'm excited for that. And then Jabri, our senior in the triple jump, love to see him score. So we've been trying to keep him healthy and keep him ready, and hopefully maybe he can pop off, a 14-meter jump and get into the play.
Sure. Also, as we were looking at the jumps as well, too, you've got 2 younger pole vaulters who are looking to make an impact, despite maybe not, they've hit the PSAC mark. Let's see what they can do with the runway there at Lehigh.
Yeah, agreed 100%. Rafa and Joe have done a really nice job this year kind of developing. I think both of them are in their best health and place right now. I think this is it. I think he's peaked them at the right time, and I would love to see one or both score at the conference meet, and I don't think it's out of hand. They're super talented at the top end.
Yep. Conference record holder.
Right. I mean, the gentleman, Andrew from Kutztown, I was there when he broke the conference record. Just unbelievable talent. And what's crazy is, don't forget about Andrew Layton, who is also an NCAA All-American. So the top end, and Logan Gossard jumped over 16 feet. You have 3 phenomenal vaulters there. So the top end may be stacked, but I think on the back end, I think it's going to be up for grabs who can get some points, and I think we can get into that mix.
And that's a case, too, where, correct me if I'm wrong, but last year, even at the conference meet, that was a case where Joe was able to come forward.
Yeah, Joe was a place for it.
Got over a clearance, and you get on the
scored
board.
at the meet. So, I think that's what their goal is I think both of them want to be conference place winners. And transitioning then that into the multi, we have Tyler Rossi and we have Noah Banker. The field's a little bit smaller than normal, with only 11. There were some injuries, I think, that occurred. And then obviously Connor Munson, the very talented conference record holder in the heptathlon, is actually training through, doing a couple, I think 1 or 2 open events at the conference meet.
I think one of the jumps.
But a great move, in my opinion, where he is in the nationals and things like that. I think that's a smart move for him.
Put you in a position
to actually do well at nationals, because as we all know, doing the multi and then doing the multi and the men's side 2 weeks later is a challenge. So I think that's a good move for them. But obviously that means out of the field, then Logan Anderson becomes the cream of the crop in the conference meet and should have no problem winning the heptathlon at the conference meet. So Tyler, we're going to see how Tyler does in his first meet, and Noah is moved into a scoring position, which is exciting. So we have 2 possible point scorers there in the multi. So we don't have the super depth in the field events, but we definitely have people in place that can score, and that's really all we need to do. We're kind of the reserves, for the field events in the jumps and the multi. My group, we're really strong in sprints, hurdles, mid distance, and throws, and we're the ones that need to get the job done this weekend and do our part so we can seal the victory.
But that's part of the fun too, is where can somebody exceed, where can somebody step up and get those points here or there. A couple of points too, building off of what David said too. So Ship happens to be 9th in the nation in the long jump. That's factoring in Tyler Rossi's long jump ability, because Ship's those top 3, those top 6 we mentioned. That's how Ship can get to 9th with that 4th person qualifying. And then again, ESU 3rd in the nation in the men's triple jump. That's an area they want to do
Fantastic.
well. And now as we transition into the throws, goodness, there's some excitement among the Ship group too, but it's at the same time too, that's also the Slippery Rocks, one of their bread and butter too, in terms of the ability. They're 3rd in the nation actually in the men's shot put in terms of the rankings. But first and foremost, we'll get to the whole things. What a fantastic season that Gian Grego has had for Shippensburg and for...
It's amazing what Gian is, a unique and special athlete. What do I love about him the most? Positive energy. Always positive. Last year he was hurt,
Sure.
And he fought through it. He was one of our best performers in an underperforming meet at the conference championship, but that's the kind of guy he is. He gave it everything he had, and he was probably at maybe 60%. So he's healthy now. The surgery was great, and voila. Fantastic throw in the shot put. It's going to get him to the national championships. He's really excited about it. He's been very, very consistent with throws this year, so it's not like he just had one big one. He's been in the mid-17s a lot in the whole series. Consistency. Yep. Donovan Kitchen coming on at the right time. Yep. Donovan's last 2 meets have been big steps in the right direction with a PR. So those guys are kind of our point scorer type guys that we're looking for in the shot as far as that goes.
And the real thing with the shot too, it's really special when you look at the national rankings. Those top 6, Donovan Kitchen is 6th in the conference right now. Top 40 all in the nation. 6 of the nation's top 40 shot putters are going to be competing at the conference.
And like I said, on the women's side, it's the women's high jump is your premier event. I would say the men's shot put is your premier event. Those are your 2 events that should grab the most eyeballs.
For sure. Similarly, we mentioned those men in the weight too. You'll have Ridge Crispino as a top 10 guy in the weight throw. He's going to try to make a mix. See how the other seeds play out there. So having taken a full look at all of this, again, we've mentioned there's talent across the board, not only from Ship, but across this league. The excitement just has to be, this is what it comes down to every year. And it's, like you said earlier, and I know it kind of can get lost in the competition aspect of sports, it's having fun too.
Yeah.
Like, I've always appreciated track as well too, because it's a sport where you're competing against one another, but you also understand the sacrifices that your fellow athletes are making, and there's pats on the back and there's appreciation for what's done too. That being said, just how excited are you to see what this group is capable of doing this weekend? Because now it's time.
They got to show me. Let's see what they can do. I mean, it's a talented group. Let's put it to action and get it done. It's exciting. One thing that I'm very excited about in the PSAC in general, I keep bringing this up that you and I have been doing this a long time. I think track and field is very healthy in our conference. This is not a weak conference.
Sure.
We have been affected by trackflation. I like to trademark that. And it's happening. Things are just getting better across the board. There really aren't some events that used to be kind of, back end might have been a little weak in competition. It's not like that anymore.
Sure.
We've got better coaches, better support in the conference across the board, more coaches at some schools. It's just getting better. And I think it makes the conference be even more exciting and mean more. So I'm excited. I'm happy for the conference to be thriving. And I'm excited to get it going this weekend and finish out this indoor season.
Follow along Saturday and Sunday. Lehigh University will be the site for the championships. Coach O, good luck.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it.